Sin duda alguna es una gran oportunidad que tenemos este día de platicar con el productor y los directores del filme Awake, La vida de Paramahansa Yogananda, Peter Ryder, Lisa LEEMAN y PAOLA de FLORIO. Te doy un fuerte abrazo y saludo. Thank you for this great opportunity to talk with the Spanish-speaking audience. How are you guys?
We're great.
So by taking his journey and his hero's journey to do that, and everything that comes in the way to stop him from obtaining that, including betrayals and, a crumbling organization, having to rebuild his organization from scratch again and again. These are all things that I think the blows that he had to face, those were the things that we realized helped our audience connect to his humanity. And I think for me personally, I think for all of us in our own separate ways came to this, we really treasure this one moment where, everything really is going wrong for him. And
literally a war against yoga being waged in the media.
I am going through the severest trial of my life.
So in Yogananda's teachings, that's what's so sort of great and actually very useful about it, is he says it's easy to go off to the Himalayas and be a hermit in a cave, and find God that way. What's much more challenging is to find God in the jungle of civilization.
And I think for as filmmakers, this was very personally, it resonated with me, because even making this film was so challenging. How to tell the story of this guru and the pressures of doing it right and all of that for this audience that was waiting for the film. And I think that there were many times where it just felt like, where are we going? How are we going to do this? And this particular moment kind of opened up a lot of doors. And I think what it was where did he go? He went to Mexico, but where he went into silence. He went into that place where he always goes to get all of his answers. And that's what I felt at that point in time. That's what I was doing. I stopped reading all of Yogananda and I just started meditating. Like the research that we were doing eventually led to the practice. And in doing the practice, the answers of how to actually get through this process started to come. So he was our teacher even in terms of the filmmaking. He helped us make the film.
We considered giving Yogananda a directing credit.
Actually, it was an interesting process of both external and internal research, you could say.
Yeah. It's hard to get people into movie theaters. So there's a lot of competition, it's very hard to book a theater. So we really tried to get people of stature that could speak of Yogananda. And so we were very lucky in being able to interview, and really the doors were open to us at Self-Realization Fellowship. But we really went beyond that as well. We really wanted to know, what does the world know about Yogananda, and how did he influence people like George Harrison and these other figures? So I think the timing of when the film came out ended up being perfect, even though for us it was a little bit torturous because it took forever to make the film. But the timing was such where even Steve Jobs' death really brought a lot of attention to the autobiography of a yogi.
Steve Jobs apparently had only one book on his iPad. Lo and behold, that book turns out to be the autobiography of a yogi.
What was the experience when you released the movie to the fierce big audience? When was that? How it happened? How did you feel? Because also it was a huge experience.
But in Seattle, where we premiered the movie at the Seattle Film Festival in May of 2014, we ended up, we were playing at some theater called the Egyptian, which was a very old theater in Seattle. It actually went back to the 20s, where it was a Masonic temple. And we showed up for the premiere, and there's these lines around the block. And then we have now realized, because someone did some research, that at that hall where we premiered the film, Yogananda had spoken. 11 times he had been to that very place. So there's the sense that, you know, history was repeating itself, or this was an extension of what Yogananda himself was doing, you know, which is, and we've had, you know, we've been blessed with audiences really embracing this movie. And as you said, you know, seeing different layers in there. So wanting to go back 3, 4, 5 times to actually see things that they didn't see the first time. So, you know, it's playing now internationally in Germany and now Mexico. We certainly are humbled by what has happened to this film. It has exceeded what we had imagined by, you know, a factor of 10 or 100. And it's really about Yogananda and his power and charisma, because we have seen in screenings, he is rocketing off the screen. It's like it's 3D. The movie, it feels like it's 3D because Yogananda is not back there. He's in the house. You know, he comes off the screen and people are feeling that, you know.
Thank you for this opportunity to talk.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for the opportunity.
Yes.